Hey, fellow Kotanas, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Kopivian, and today I am doing a Clash in Italy prediction video. This card, holy crap, is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this is an amazing card right here. I have a great feeling that every match on this card is gonna blow everything out of the water this weekend. This is going to be an incredible event. So, here are my predictions for Clash in Italy. So, we're going to get it started off with the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Intercontinental Champion Becky Lynch and challenger Sol Ruca. I did see at Saturday night's main event, I did see that Becky Lynch cheated her way to retaining the championship by basically having Sol Ruca hit the Soul Snatcher on referee Jessica Carr. Even with the veteran Becky Lynch doing everything she can to hold on to that championship against the newcomer, Sol Ruca, at least newcomer to the main roster anyway, you know, it would be amazing to see Sol Ruca become the Women's Intercontinental Champion, but somehow I don't think that it's quite yet the time for Sol to be Women's Intercontinental Champion. However, that does not dispute the fact that I do think that Sol Ruca has a very good chance in this matchup. This is going to be, I think, better than Saturday night's main event. Not by too much, because honestly, Saturday night's main event left a lot to be desired between these two women, and that's actually surprising because Sol Ruca right now is really turning out to be one of the best women's wrestlers, not only in the WWE, but around the world, and Becky Lynch has already established herself as such. Even with last week happening the way that it happened, and technically Sol Ruca kind of beat Becky, I think this weekend at Clash in Italy, I think this is where Becky Lynch comes closer to cementing her dominance over Sol Ruca, but I think this rivalry is far from over. Could be SummerSlam, where we see Sol finally come over and beat Becky Lynch, but I don't think that Clash in Italy is the right time or the right place. Becky Lynch walks out as the Women's Intercontinental Champion still. Next up, I want to talk about the WWE Undisputed Championship match between champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, versus the Ring General, Gunther. This is actually going to be a really good match, I think. Gunther is obviously, he's a great wrestler. He's an old school style of wrestler, which actually I think will feed well into Cody Rhodes' more modern style of wrestling. What it is and where I feel like this kind of story is being taken towards for Cody Rhodes, I still think that he's on a collision course for a rematch somewhere down the road with Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. But Gunther, he's already been WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and he was a great champion. He was a great main event champion. He really was. And I think he is more than deserving of being the WWE Undisputed Champion. I just don't think that it's going to happen at Clash in Italy. I think that the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, walks out of this event as champion, and maybe, just maybe, we're putting out a interference alert here. Seems like every time I do one of these prediction videos now, I'm talking about interference because that's always how it seems to be going towards. But nonetheless, this matchup is going to be a really interesting match. The styles of Gunther and Cody Rhodes actually really accommodate each other nicely, and I think that's going to help make this match better than what I think people are thinking it's going to be. For the winner in this match, I definitely think the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, comes out with the championship still. And we'll see what goes on after that. If it's Randy or it's somebody else. Who knows? Maybe Royce Keys. Like to see that match. He duped us all, ladies and gentlemen. And now I get to talk about another matchup between these two behemoths. Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar. Well, WrestleMania 42, all of us thought Brock Lesnar's retired. No, he's not. He's back, and this is going to be far more intense than their WrestleMania 42 encounter. And I think that Brock Lesnar's coming out the victor. This is going to be a shorter prediction right here. I think Brock Lesnar comes out the victor, and I think it sets up a very nice third match between these two to be truly brutal and really showcase what these two can do when there are no rules. Bold prediction? Hell yes, but that's why I do this. Here we go, WWE Women's Championship match. Rematch, actually, from WrestleMania 42 once again, between Women's Champion Rhea Ripley and challenger Jade Cargill. I loved their WrestleMania 42 match. I absolutely loved it. It was a really good match, a really fun match. Obviously, you know, the ads and all the sort, but we're not going back to that. We're forward. We're moving forward in the story. Last week, Saturday night's main event, we of course saw a 6-woman tag team match with Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, and Alexa Bliss teaming up against the baddies, Jade Cargill, Mia Yim, and B-Fab, which was a really fun match and a really good way to set up a rematch between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley, with Jade pinning Rhea last weekend. But even with that, I don't see Jade doing it for 2 weekends in a row. I just don't see it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see Jade get another reign as champion, and she will. But it's not right now, at least not yet. I think there's still a little bit more in the tank for this rivalry to go over the WWE Women's Championship. And I think that Charlexa and B-Fab and Mia Yim will have a piece of the story to tell, yet, yes, interference alert. But I think it's going to be more of those two, or those four, kind of facing off on the outside, and that being a distraction, more or less, for either Jade or Rhea. But I do think that Rhea Ripley retains this championship at Clash in Italy. Finally, we come to it. It's Tribal Combat for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship between champion Roman Reigns versus, of course, Jacob Fatu. You know, I actually really like these Tribal Combat matches. They're a lot of fun to watch. They're brutal sometimes. Well, all the time, actually. But even with all that being said, this is, I think, going to actually be the most fun and most brutal Tribal Combat match we've seen yet. And with Roman Reigns not having lost a Tribal Combat match yet, well, Jacob Fatu is about the best candidate to do just that and beat Roman Reigns, not only in Tribal Combat, but for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And it would actually be cool to see the Samoan Werewolf get a reign as champion. But for some reason, I just don't feel like it's time yet. I don't feel like Jacob is quite ready. I don't think it fits where he's at currently. He's a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that he's not. And I'm not saying he's not deserving to be a champion at some point. I just don't think it's right now. I think that it's a little too early yet for Jacob to become a major main event champion. He is proving himself in the main event, and Roman Reigns is helping him along with everyone else involved with setting up these matches. And I think this match is really going to showcase what we saw at Backlash in Tampa between these two, especially after the match with Jacob beating down Roman Reigns. I think that is going to play a big part in how Roman Reigns eventually takes down the Samoan Werewolf in this matchup. But I also feel like with Roman Reigns kind of being obviously the older of the two, he's also wiser between the two. And he has the experience not only in the main event, but he has the experience from Paul Heyman, who used to be, of course, the wise man. Well, still is the wise man to a degree, but he's not the wise man within the bloodline anymore, obviously. He's with the Vision. So, get away from that. This, right now, this situation between these two, this rivalry is so much fun, and I think that it needs an extra layer in order for Jacob to take that next step to become the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I would rather see a long-term story be told with Jacob learning from Roman Reigns and, well, kind of Roman Reigns, a hybrid version, if you will, between what we saw in the Bloodline 1.0 or 2.0, depending on how you view it, but take what that Roman Reigns was with the Roman Reigns now and kind of have a mixture, a hybrid version of the character of the Tribal Chief. I think it would be really interesting to see with how Jimmy and Jay already dealt with Roman Reigns versus what Jacob Fatu has dealt with Solo Sikoa and now Roman Reigns. I think it would be a really interesting tweak to the story of Jacob Fatu if he takes what he learns from Roman Reigns, because obviously if Jacob Fatu loses this match, he basically becomes Roman Reigns' right-hand man to a degree. Not essentially, but he doesn't really get another shot at the WWE World Heavyweight Championship right away. It makes it us wait, which I think is what is needed in a story like this. It's being told so well, and it needs another layer on top of it before Jacob Fatu is truly ready to be in that main event spot as champion. Not fighting for the championship, but as the champion defending it. I don't think right now is the right time for Jacob Fatu to become champion. So, in saying that, of course, you obviously guessed it, predict that this weekend, Clash in Italy, your Tribal Chief, my Tribal Chief, all of our Tribal Chief remains the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, and it just adds on to the story that's being told between Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu, and will be really interesting. I know a lot of people are sick and tired of the Bloodline story at this point, and I get it. It's been told a lot, but I think this will be a different little tweak, a little interesting greasing of the wheels, if you will, to a new story, a new branch of the Bloodline family tree story. So, if you agree with me, let me know in the comments down below, or let me know what you think is going to happen at this weekend's Clash in Italy. I think it's going to be a really good event. All of these matches, all 5 of these matches, have the potential, as I said at the top of this video, to be absolutely phenomenal and to just be quite possibly the best event of the year. But we'll see. So, my review, of course, will come out next week sometime of Clash in Italy. Other than that, I thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you like this video. And aside from that, always remember to imagine your dream, create your happiness, and live your life on the edge. And I will see you in that next episode. See ya.